Hello guys, my name is Marco. So on this video, I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the new Jumanji trailer that came out. Also telling you guys what I think about it, stuff like that. I love movies, so I want to do something like this. You know, I am going to do other stuff, okay? This is not going to be the only thing. I just want to continue making more content, more videos, and hopefully you guys like this. Now, here's the thing. Jumanji, the first one, dude, I liked it. I was really a kid when I saw it. It was really vacantly, but the reason why I liked it because it was had like a little elements of like funniness, action, and curiosity because you know the how the movie was, and you know at the time, and I thought it was really great. And like it had to me, it had a little elements of horror in it, just a little bit because there were some things that were like, oh my god, like um like when you get the board of Jumanji, how that one is based to me, I felt like it was really similar to like a Ouija board, except for without the spiritual things and just add like the jungle thing, you know. Because when I saw the lion come out and he was like in a bed, like in a room inside a house, that terrified me. I thought, what if that terrified me because one time I'm like, you know, if I open up the door, there's gonna be a lion there. I don't know. So, and also when the kid sucks into and goes into Jumanji and then comes out as Ron Williams, version caveman. You say because he looked like caveman. But yeah, those are the things. Now here's the thing. Um, that one, Jumanji, the first one, I saw it when I was really a kid. So like I said, I vacantly know this, but it was a movie that was really interesting. So I do remember some of the scenes. Okay, now the new Jumanji movie, I think it looks great. I like it and stuff like that. There are a few elements that I don't like about it, that I'm kind of pissed off about that they did it. You know, but I'm gonna talk about those things. Here's the thing. One of the things that I don't really like about this new one that the other one had is that the first one had this sort of this special elements. Like, you know, it was like in a city. No, not in a city. It was like it was like in some, I don't know, there were like houses and stuff like that, like a street or something like that. And then you have this board that was the Jumanji, and basically Jumanji, every single time you play, you get these cards, and then you get this like fortune like thing that comes out telling you a whole bunch of words, and then something comes out. Basically, that game makes things come to life. Jumanji was coming out of the board game, and I thought that was pretty damn cool, and that was really unique and stuff like that. On this movie, on the other hand, this trailer that I saw, it's nothing like that. Okay, they are getting sucked into Jumanji because on the first one, only Ron Williams got sucked into Jumanji, and that was one of the things kind of terrifying because I was like, I don't want to get sucked into Jumanji. I don't want to do that. So to me, I felt like that was a little element of horror. But that's just that. The rest of the movie was really fine. You know, so there's that, and how like the house was getting destroyed and all these things slowly and slowly, and those were great moments. And those were stuff like that. Okay, now in this one, everybody gets sucked into Jumanji. Now the way that the thing about this is that the elements and stuff like that, it feels like there's these people there, and it feels like it's just they're in a jungle, and that's about it. It's supposed to be Jumanji, stuff like that, but it just doesn't feel that special. It just feels like they're explorers going to Jumanji. Like, if I look at this movie, okay? If I look at this movie alone without naming it Jumanji, or having, like, the first element, like, getting sucked into, going into Jumanji, if they were just walking around there in the jungle, I would just automatically think that it's a King Kong movie. Like, literally, like, seeing these characters there, I feel like it will be a King Kong. You have a guy that looks like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, looks really badass. You had Kevin Hart that's a shorter, but he has muscles, stuff like that. You have the Explorer, and then you have the girl that I don't know her name. You have Jack Black being the Explorer. I mean, being like a scientist or something like that. Or it could be like the filmmaker again. I don't know. You just have these things that I feel like it could just be a King Kong movie. I don't know, I just feel that way because they're in the jungle and stuff like that. It doesn't feel so much like, I feel like elements of the first one, that one doesn't have. I just feel like it's just a jungle, but I could be wrong, so there's those things, okay? Now, one of the things that I think that people are kind of pissed off about is the part where basically how they get into Jumanji and all these things. Now, here's the thing, on this one, when they get inside Jumanji, they become these characters they chose. Okay, these characters they turn into these characters and stuff like that. Which on the first one, They really didn't. Um, Only Ron Williams got inside Jumanji, so basically you have that. But then when Ron Williams was inside a Jumanji, they didn't say anything that he changed. When he got out, he was a completely different person. You know, he looked like a caveman, stuff like that. But the thing is that he didn't change. He stayed in Jumanji for a while, but in Jumanji, he was still the same. Which I don't know if he was or not, but that's kind of it. But on this one, they changed, right? Now, I'm saying that one of the things that a lot of people get pissed off is how they get into Jumanji. Not the idea that there's like these people and they go into Jumanji and they change. No, it's how they get like the whole video game system thing. Okay, this is what I think. Because on the first one, you have this board game, they play it, and then Jumanji was coming out of the board game, and everything was great. On this one, it's not. This one, you're playing a video game, and you get inside Jumanji because they're trying to modernize it and stuff like that. And I feel like that's not. I don't like that one bit. Because the reason why I don't like it, because on Jumanji, on the first one, at the end of the first one, it lingers to a sequel. You know, because you can see the board game there, everything's like that, and these two kids are walking towards it, like it just lingers a sequel that we were never gonna get, and then we end up never getting a sequel. And then fast forward to today, we got Jumanji, which I was really hyped, and people probably were hyped about it because they were like, we're gonna get a sequel finally, but how are they gonna do it without Robin Williams? And that's one of the things that a lot of people didn't really like, that they announced the Jumanji movie near where Ron Williams has passed away and stuff like that. That kind of sucks. But that was it. But yeah, those are the things that would happen. Now the thing about it is that that was one of the things about it. Now, like I said, on the first one, it lingers to a sequel. We never got this one, and a lot of people were pissed off about it because they scratched the idea of the board game of Jumanji, which that kind of that's kind of like, why would you like? Here's the thing, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so this movie, to be honest, dude, if you look at the trailer name, it says Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and the other one says Jumanji 2, stuff like Jumanji 2, Welcome to the Jungle, stuff like that. Let me tell you something. This movie is not a sequel. It's not a fucking sequel. It's a fucking reboot. Let me tell you why. First off, the first Jumanji game led up with the board, the Jumanji board, right? And it lingers to a sequel. This one, they're not using the board. They're using video games. So I'm like, okay, so it's like, how did the board turn into a video game? Doesn't make any sense. Also, you do not have some characters from the first one on this one. Of course, some of these characters, like Ron Williams, passed away, and you cannot have them here. I understand that. But there were other actors, other people that were there on the first one, have already grown up, and they could have been on this film as parents or something like that. Also, the Jumanji board, you can still do a Jumanji movie with the Jumanji board and still be good. The reason is because, look, to me, when I saw the Jumanji board, it to me kind of lingered a little bit into like this sort of a Ouija board sense, but without the spiritual stuff and just jungles. You could do something like that. You could just say, my mom has this board game, we could all play it, and you can linger something like similar to like Stranger Things, you know, that sort of art style. Yeah, you can linger that in the beginning of it, or you can just do something like this and stuff like that. And yeah, you could do stuff like that. You could bring in a board game. Oh my god, like I don't want to play a board game that's really old. You know, it's like people don't play board games anymore. They start trying to make a video, because I understand trying to make it into a video game, but it just doesn't make sense if you were gonna make a sequel of it. Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, those are sequels because they have some of the same characters from each one, especially Robert Downey Jr., okay? This one, of course, you're not going to have Robin Williams because he passed away, but you can still have some of the other characters to make it a sequel, to make it feel a little bit like, you know, like a Jumanji 2, and I think those are the things that didn't really make it. So to me, I think this movie is not a sequel. Okay, I think this one is a reboot. Okay, that's my thoughts. Okay, that's about it. Okay, am I gonna watch this movie? I'm waiting for the second trailer so I can make my personal opinions and stuff like that. But it feels like I don't know. It's just that the board game thing. It's like you made it into a video game. I understand that, but this doesn't make any sense because the first one ended up with the sequel. Okay, and now it's like this. How did the board game went in? Because I don't get it. You know, it's your damn. It's like the director directed the first one. It's their fucking fault for making for making the Jumanji the first one end with the fucking lingering to a sequel. Okay, you see the board game on the beach, two people walking by together, and there are only two people. And on this one, there's more people. Of course, you try to modernize it a lot, but I think they went too much with the whole modernization because they want more people to see it. But you need to understand that Jumanji, it's a movie that people that went to see it, they love it and they want to see it how it is and stuff like that. They don't want you to mess with it. Okay, if you were going to make a Jumanji movie, because a lot of people want to make a Jumanji movie, a second one, because the first one ended up with lingering to a sequel, and now we're not gonna get that sequel because we're not gonna get it because it's a video game thing, which I really don't really understand it. You know, like I understand if you want to make a movie where it's like video games stuck into the TV and stuff like that, that's fine. But the thing about it is that the first one, it lingered to, ended lingering to a sequel, and it was a board game, and how did a board game turn into a video game? Doesn't make any sense. Maybe on this trailer it's gonna tell us. Maybe it's gonna tell us on the next trailer or maybe on the movie. But to be honest, dude, I'm one of those people that it's like I might not see it because of that. I might not see it, and I might not see it. You know. Yes, yes. When I first saw the trailer, when I first saw the news, I was really hyped. But after I saw the trailer, I was like a little bit uneasy about it. So yeah. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I am gonna be making more videos and stuff like that. So that's about it. So hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys later. And bye.